Welcome back. You're watching Overdrive. It's only May and it seems like Team Overdrive has made the Buddh International Formula One circuit its second home. We brought you events from Mercedes, Ferrari, Force India, and it's now the turn of BMW. The largest selling luxury car maker in India organized the M-Drive Formula One experience. Sandeep got behind the wheels of the BMW M3 and the new M5. Check it out.
A sunny day at the Buddh International Circuit and BMW's entire Indian lineup fueled up with new tyres and ready to hit the track. Things really can't get any better. And while the M5, resplendent in electric blue, and the matte black all-business M3 were the stars, driving them back-to-back with BMW's other road cars gave us a good sense of their special capabilities. M5, two letters that when combined together never fail to give driving enthusiasts goosebumps. Having practically invented the super saloon genre in 1984 with the first M5, BMW has over the years taken great pain to ensure that its flagship remains the class of its segment. So ever since this car was launched in India at the Delhi Auto Expo in January, every enthusiast in the country has been waiting to see it cut loose.
Now, I did say BMW practically invented the super saloon segment when they released the first M5 in 1984. And what I mean by that is simple. A car like this was unheard of at the time. A saloon car, a normal everyday saloon car when you looked at it, especially to the untrained eye from the outside, yet a fire-breathing monster was hidden under the hood.
After raising the bar to the skies with last generation's E50 M5 and its ridiculous 5-litre naturally aspirated V10 engine, BMW looked to have taken a step back with the 4.4-litre twin-turbo unit in the new car. But as 552 horsepower, 0 to 100 time of 4.5 seconds and 680 Nm of torque available from just 1500 RPM attest, first impressions can be very deceptive.
Now, the other thing you realize when you set foot in an M5 is that almost everything is infinitely customizable. You can set up the seat and the steering just exactly how you want, and there are a whole lot of other settings that you can play with. The most important ones are 3 switches that control the steering, the suspension, and the engine. There is obviously a way to turn off all traction control and driver aids, but that, because of M Division's reputation for building tail-happy cars, is something I'm not going to do. Turning off traction control on this car, on this racetrack, is something best left to people with a little more experience than me. But right now, I've got every possible setting that I can set up in Sport Plus mode, and it's just fabulous.
Us journalists often talk about how a car can shrink wrap itself around you, but the most vivid example of that has to be the M5. Switch it over from Comfort to Sport Plus and your senses are overloaded by the impression of Clark Kent running into a phone booth, losing the khakis and checkered shirt and flying out in his Superman suit. A plush, comfortable, large car suddenly feels completely at home on track, ready to respond to the slightest input from the driver. Inch-perfect cornering. Warp factor 7 on the straights. I could go on and on and on. But here's the thing. If you have close to 1 crore to spend on a very, very special automobile, buy the M5. Buy it now. While the M5 is the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing, there can be no mistaking the M3's intentions. In the shade of matte black, the coupe with blacked out wheels and carbon everywhere just screams track day monster.
With the new 3 Series already out in some European markets and scheduled to come to India later this year, this is really the last hurrah for one of the greatest driver's cars ever made, the current generation BMW M3. The M3 has 420 PS on tap, produced from a naturally aspirated 4-litre V8 petrol engine, and that produces a 0 to 100 time in the hands of a really quick driver of close to 4.7 seconds. But it's not the power or even the really quick 0 to 100 time that brought the M3 all of its fame. The M3 is famous, and rightfully so, because it's a no compromises track attack machine.
almost everyone who drove these cars back to back were awed by the M5. But the biggest smiles were reserved for the twitchy, impatient, and also involving M3. So again, if you've always wanted to own one, snap it up quickly.